We have with us the next participant who would like to share his Akashic reading experiences. I would like to invite Shri Rajesh Chandramohan, Nithyananda Maya. Are you able to hear me?
Nithyanandam.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here. And thank you for joining at this moment to be able to share your experiences with Akashic reading. Please, for our viewers, would you give an introduction to yourself, to where you are and what you do, please?
Okay. I am Rajesh Chandramohan. I am in Qatar now. This job also Swamiji has got me, and I'm here since February 2021. So again, in the middle of pandemic, there have been a lot of changes. There are a lot of what I can say transformation which has happened in my life as well. So I'm the CIO of a company called Darvish Holding. They are into luxury retail. So that is my background. And coming to the Akashic reading from Devi Parashakti, what is one of the things which have been very, very clear, or something which is very striking for me, is that this is the third question which I have asked Swamiji and Devi Parashakti, and they have answered in a span of maybe 3-4 days. I never, one of the things which I never expected is, I thought it will take some time for Devi Parashakti to answer, but then when she answered, it was completely comprehensive. It started in a very talking about the several things which was going inside of me. So one of the things was question marks, right? How much of is my devotion enough? What is the kind of devotion I have? So there were a lot of questions which I had in my mind. So Devi Parashakti started off saying that I recognize the seva you have done for me. I recognize the bhakti and the shraddha that you have for me. So that was completely fulfilling, because as disciples, devotees, we know that we are devoted, but what is that extent of devotion? And that acknowledgement from Parashakti and Swamiji herself is something was out of the world for me. So it started with that. And then complete description about what is happening in my life. I mainly asked a question of becoming SJP Karta. So it was like the amount of, so Swamiji has been showering a lot of wealth. But when I look at, in the length dimension, if you start looking at the calculations, it takes a period of time to accumulate that kind of wealth and contribution which is required for Karta. So then there is something extraordinary which needs to happen. So for that extraordinary breakthrough is what I was looking for, and I was never getting that breakthrough so far. So then when Devi Parashakti gave the Arulvaku, it was like a complete fulfillment of saying that this is the current situation, this is how you are, this is what I am blessing. And it's not a simple blessing. It's goes with a lot of things in Tamil, and Tamil language which Devi Parashakti speaks. It is not the wealth creation alone. There is, in terms of how do you generate the wealth, what is the context in which you're generating, what is the knowledge which goes in that, and how do you react to those situations, and finally, how do you handle the whole situation? Suppose, for example, suddenly we get $1 billion, we will not know what to do. We will completely go mad, right? So in that way, how to handle it was the complete answer. Then came, and one of those very striking things was, there were answers for which I have not asked questions. For that also Devi Parashakti has answered. So completely end to end, talking about my father, how he has attained the Sahaja Mukti, where he is, how is he doing. All of that is something which Devi Parashakti answered, and then finally said that I will take care of you, and that comfort feeling that she is there for me, Swamiji is there for me, is amazingly fulfilling. So today at this moment I feel completely fulfilled. And one thing which I wanted to say is I had a few thoughts before the darshan, before the Arulaka, and at that time there were a lot of doubts and negative coming up. But when after the blessing, what is happening is all the negativity and all the other emotions have gone off. I'm able to see the situations much clearer. So which means that yes, if I do it, yeah, fine. This is what will happen, is the kind of clarity which I'm getting.
So beautiful, yeah. One of the things that we share is how even when we make an offering, it is actually about two parts. It actually has two parts. One is us giving, and then the divine accepting it. Now, when you talk about devotion and Devi herself recognizing your devotion, that is phenomenal, and it is such a pleasant and a sweet experience just to be able to hear that. How do you think you prepare yourself to be able to receive the Akashic readings? Not only that, but to build that connection with Devi Parashakti. Because if Devi Parashakti herself recognized and said, I see your devotion, then that means that she has accepted it. She has accepted the way that you have offered your devotion. How would you explain
I will. Yeah, I will try to put that in words. Although it's a little difficult to articulate these kind of feelings and expressions. One of the things is a recognition of the fact that in my life, when I look back, there have been instances where she has come and showered her wealth and her prosperity on me. So there were situations where I was not doing well financially, and then suddenly, out of none of my actions, suddenly she came, she intervened, and I was just walking on the road. I just got into an office. I attended an interview. I got a job, which was my dream job. So it suddenly happened. So one of the things is, the moment when the moment comes, she showers a lot of things on me. So that was already there in my mind. It was already there in my background that Parashakti will take care of me, and continuously in my life she has been coming and she has been showering her blessings and wealth. The second thing is, of late there has been a blossoming of what Swamiji used to call the sweet love, right? So, and it is something which is a prasada given by him only. It is not that I have suddenly become realized that feeling. It is some flowering of a sweet love for him. So in what really happened for me is that, and this is what is my cognition, is that he has given that prasada to me, that please experience this sweet love for me, and in turn I'm able to experience that. And it is, and what I generally do is I don't miss any of the darshans. I try to attend most of the darshans. So whenever the darshan comes, there is a lot of emotional connect, and there is a lot of emotional outpouring which happens. I allowed my being to be in that state. I don't worry why that emotional outburst is there, or why do I feel that way, but I feel very emotionally connected, and I allow my being to be like that. So that is something which I did. And obviously the blessing which Devi Parashakti gave was unexpected for me. I thought it will take some time, but then she completely blessed me. So it is I feel that it's more of the connection and the love which you have. So if there is some love and we are able to build that on that love, and we are able to reciprocate, and we are able to build that emotion which is love, I think that is the root of everything.
It's so beautiful, yeah. And how has the Devi's blessing, whatever the Devi has given you as blessing, how did that manifest in your life? How did you see that come alive and manifest in your life so far?
What has happened is one of the things, me and my wife were expecting a child for quite some time. By Swamiji's divine grace and blessings, our marriage happened in the ashram itself in 2014. So Swamiji himself got us married. One of those very rare occasions which happened in the Bidadi Adinam and in the Bangalore ashram Adinam itself. So since then, we have been expecting a child, and Swami has been saying that if at all somebody has to do, it is only me who has to do. He has been very open with us. And medically also, my wife was going through certain things. But now what we see is that at some point in time, what I feel is Swamiji says that he will say right through 2015, 16, 17, when Swami was physically available in Bangalore Adinam, we used to do Sadashivoham, Mahasadashivoham, we used to do Pada Puja, then ask Swami questions. So at that time, there are certain things which Swamiji used to say, which I told my wife, let's blindly follow. Because I deeply trust Swami, and he will not say anything which is not good for us. Whatever he does will be good for us. But we followed that. At the end of it, even the doctors and medically they said whatever Swami has told is correct. So that is what I have realized. So in about 4 to 5 years, we slowly realized that however Swami is guiding us and Swamiji is guiding us, it's the right path. So then what has happened, and I firmly believe that one of the things is patience. The other thing is, for the tree to bear fruit and flower and bear fruit, it takes time. So we have to give time for all of these things. And when the right time comes, Swamiji and Devi Parashakti will bless. But it has so happened that at this point in time, that blessing has come, things are happening in the natural flow, and things are progressing towards it. So I don't know, sometimes our human mind says it is coincidence, but it is not coincidence. It is the blessing, it is the timing, it is where we are in the journey, all of that coming together. And Swamiji, as what he is, an avatar, an incarnation, he makes all the things happen around us in such a way that it beautifully aligns. The entire cosmos aligns. So there is nothing to worry about and fear about.
That's excellent. Yeah. That is a beautiful way to put it. And so now, now that you mentioned this part of the blessing, you probably are also aware, and from I believe you are in the Middle East, and there's also a global pandemic right now, and we see so much of destruction, so much of people needing healing, and with that respect, what is it that you see? What is it that you feel you would like to share with the viewers all across the world? At one side, we have Devi Parashakti, who is making herself more and more available, more and more compassionate, just giving her blessing. And then we still have so many people who require that healing presence and the compassion of Devi. So what would you like to share with our viewers?
Yes, I am. I mean, it is no doubt, or it is clearly there is no doubt that the entire world, especially India at this moment, the pandemic is raging very badly. It started somewhere in December 2019, and if you recollect, it's been almost about 15 months, which is a very long time. What has happened, especially with me, my family, is that we, at any of this point, since the pandemic started, we never had any kind of fatigue. We never had any kind of fear. If we have to, we quarantined ourselves in our house in Bangalore for 6 months. For 6 months, we never stepped out. It was me, my wife, my mother, all of us were together. And Swamiji gives us darshans, he gives us satsangs, so he gives us the knowledge. In between, the effort for Nithyananda Pedia started, and I joined the Nithyananda Pedia team. There are so many things which happened externally apart from pandemic. In fact, I lost my job. I have to return from Saudi Arabia. So I asked Swami, this is what has happened. Please tell me what to do. He said, don't worry, I will get you another job. In the meantime, please come to India. And the way, step by step, the way the flight tickets were booked, the way the exit happened out of the country, the way quarantine happened, how we came home, every step by step, everything went so smoothly. And it is all because of Swamiji's blessing. And then we were in quarantine for 6 months. Uh, Quarantine in the sense that we self quarantined ourselves because we didn't want to go outside. So and even now, me, my wife, my mother is in the Adinam now. My wife is in Bangalore. I am in Qatar. It is actually, it took about 3 to 4 months for me to get my visa processed in India, come to Qatar. So every time the visa center had to open, the visa had to be issued. I had to go for my fingerprinting. All of that happened. How it happened, I don't know. The miraculously, the offices started opening, government started functioning, and I came over here. And I'm now like 3 to 4 months in my new job. It's quite settled, and although there are so many things happening around us, Swamiji has kept us in a bubble. He has kept us physically contained and protected, completely protected. And second thing is, emotionally, he has kept us intact. So it is, we don't feel that fatigue. We don't feel any kind of fear. There is always that confidence and assurance that Devi Parashakti will take care of us. She has said in the darshans as well that my devotees, people who are my disciples, I will take care of them. And continuous infusion of energy through the darshans has really taken us to next levels. And as you would see, although the pandemic is happening, there is transformation happening within people like us. So right from disciples, devotees, their personal journey, their spiritual journey, all of which the transformation is happening. Sometimes you feel whatever is happening to you through Parashakti's, Devi Parashakti's blessings, sometimes you feel that there's no pandemic at all. There is no relationship to that. But then Swamiji and Devi Parashakti have acknowledged the fact that yes, this is there, but I will take care of you. And that is an immense blessing. I think for all our devotees and disciples, wherever we are around the world, within our Adinams, Kailasas, we are well protected. And that is the kind of confidence and the assurance which Parashakti has given. And that is also the emotion which you carry inside. See, more than you telling yourself that you are protected, you need to get that sense of protection. You feel as if you are in Devi's lap and she's taking care of you. So when you feel that kind of an assurance, you're completely protected and you feel very stable, mentally very stable.
Beautiful, yeah. And you brought out something that's been repeated by Devi Parashakti, which is she keeps saying, have no fear, fear not. Again and again and again, even within the same Akash reading for one person, she repeats it maybe once, maybe twice. And this is such a beautiful space to be in, because we see so much happening on the outside. And there's definitely uncertainty, and there is so much of worry and fear that is possible. But Devi Parashakti's presence, just by her mere presence, just by her being here, she ensures that we know that we are all protected. We are all under her warm embrace of compassion, the never-ending compassion. And she's here, and she is going to give us life. She's going to ensure that we sail through this. And not only this, not only physically that we are able to get through the current time, but ultimately giving us the experience, the fulfillment of the purposes of our life, of the exact purpose of our life. So she will be here to ensure that, and she has taken the responsibility to ensure that our purpose of life will be fulfilled. And we thank you here. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your experience. And I know this timing has been a little off for me, but thank you once again for coming here and sharing your thoughts with all of us. And I request for you to come back more and more so that you will be able to share and essentially talk with us so that your experience gets strengthened more and more people get to hear you also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nithyanandam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nithyanandam.